Hello everyone. About 6 weeks ago I did an unboxing on this knife right here, the Swisstech Helfen 12-in-1 multi-tool from Walmart. If you haven't seen that video, and I remember, I will link that video in the description. Again, that kind of means I'll have to remember it, so who knows if that'll happen. But anyway, this is basically patterned on your typical run-of-the-mill Swiss Army knife. Now, I like the Swiss Army knives, but they're not the only Victorinox isn't the only company that can make something like that well. I mean, other companies can make it too. So let's see if the Swisstech Helfen is as good as that. Now, I've had some luck, as you know if you watch the channel, with some inexpensive Walmart knives. I figured I'd check this one out. So, one good thing about it is it's about the same size as your typical Victorinox. Same profile, really the same tools. The difference is, with this tool set, if you go to Walmart, you can get a Victorinox Swiss Army knife for about $31 or $32. This one was $23, but you don't get quite the selection of tools this one has. I believe you have to go up to the Tinker to get this selection of tools, and I'm thinking probably online maybe $36, $37 if you're diligent about looking around. Well, this one, I'm not going to go over all the tools that I went over in the first one. Again, you can check that out. But you know, it has a couple of screwdrivers. It has a slip joint knife. It has a Phillips head screwdriver. It has some scissors. Well, I carry this to work with me every day. I used it almost every day. I looked for basically a lot of extra cutting to try and put it through its paces. I would say it got a fair amount of use. I intentionally tried not to use my other knives so that I can put extra wear on this. So, I mean, I used it for 6 weeks. Maybe it's more like 10 or 12 or 13 weeks, like in my typical usage time. But I did try and do a lot of cutting with it to try and see how it held up. So, first thing I really liked about this knife involved the blade, and that's this right here. As you'll see with Swiss Army knives, they really like nail nicks. And sometimes nail nicks are fine, other times not so much. But what I really liked about this one is that it has this opening here. So, like, that's pretty cool. So it's easier to open, right? Yes, usually it's easier to open. Now, you might be noticing a but there. It's easier to open, but, well, it's easier to open except for when it's not easier to open or close. Now, when I first got this, I forgot to mention it in the original video, but there was some side-to-side play on this knife. And that has actually, I don't know if you can hear this, it's gotten worse. So the more I use it, the more the blade play has gotten worse. But wait, there's more. Not only has the blade play gotten worse, but when you close it sometimes, it closes just fine. That time was okay. Now, with the Swiss Army knives, this one I've had 11 or 12 years. I've put a lot of wear and tear and use on this. This is the Victorinox Swiss Champ. This is the one-handed trekker. Now, that time right there, I don't know if you heard it, but it was fully open, and it snaps right back into place, okay? So, sometimes, if you're using it, the side-to-side play kind of pushes the blade out of, let's call it, the preferred zone of the blade, and it actually won't close, won't snap back into place. Now it's making a liar on me. And it actually seems to kind of like rub up against this tool right here, kind of rubs up against the scissors. So you go to push it in, and it's just like not, you almost have to like kind of push it in. Doesn't make you feel too good, got to tell you. The scissors, you know, a lot of people probably don't like these types of scissors. I actually like them. With these scissors right here, I actually have used these for like pretty long periods on end because I found them to be very, very useful. These really kind of annoyed me as I was using them. And I only use them for like 5 or 6 minutes, and I'm like, I can't get much of anything done with them. I don't find that these are as sharp as the Victorinox. I like that the spring actually keeps up okay, but I don't know, I just didn't find them as comfortable. Um, it's just hard for me to say. I just really wasn't caring for them that much. Now, another thing that I tend, oh, sorry about that. Another thing that I tend to use is the awl. I'm a fan of the awl or the reamer, whatever you want to call it. I actually was able to open the reamer right here one time when I first got it. That's it. One time I could never open it again. Okay. Yeah, that can't open. Yeah, it feels like the thumbnail's gonna rip off my thumb. It's just not good. Screwdriver still works well. I used the screwdrivers a little bit, and they were fine. You know, totally fine. Now, again, I didn't use anything as much as I used the knife. I would say that I used the knife quite a bit. I used the scissors a little bit. I got to tell you, this isn't a bad knife. For like $10, it's fantastic. The problem is they charge $23, and where I live, I pay 7% sales tax. So this is setting you back $25. I would probably, if I was buying a gift for somebody, I'd rather spend the extra $8 at Walmart and get them a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. Sure, you're not getting the full complement of tools, but I do believe you're getting a much better tool, even though it's a little bit more limited. And you know, if you go online, one of the online retailers like Blade HQ or one of the other good ones, you could probably get the Tinker for like $38 or $39. Again, $15 more, and you're getting the same tools. So you can either go like $8 more, get a way better tool with slightly fewer tool options on board, or you can go like $16 more and get something that is better quality with the same tools. Now, I know some of you might say, well, you know, the Victorinox is more expensive. Yeah, true. Like I said, this was, when I bought this way back when, I think it was like $65. Now I think they're about $80 for the Swiss Champ. I forget how much this was. I'm thinking this was about $65. So, yeah, they cost more money. But the thing is, when you're looking at the typical $30 to $40 Swiss Army knife, I feel like they're so much better than this that it's not worth it. Now, do I have a problem with cheap blades? No, I don't. And again, if you've watched recent videos, I can prove it to you. Here's my little $5 multi-tool, which I was kind of, it's okay for $5. You know, it's not bad. You know, I'd rather have a good multi-tool and a cheap multi-tool than just have a good multi-tool. You know, so for $5, you have a backup. 2 is 1, 1 is none. So $5 for this, pretty good. Not bad. You know, it is what it is. This right here, this is probably a really nice $12, $13, $14 knife. But guess what? I only paid $5 for it. Okay, so do I have a problem with cheap knives? Nope. I do not have a problem with cheap knives. I do have a problem when someone tries to sell something for a little bit more than budget, and it's really not that good. Now, this right here, if this was $10, let's say this was $10, okay? I would treat this much like I treat this. This is not going to hold up with a $40 or $50 multi-tool. It's not going to do it, okay? But for $5, well, it does everything I expect it to do and more. It's totally fine for $5. Do I feel like I got ripped off for $5? Absolutely not. Do I feel like I got the absolute deal of the century? No, but I do think I got a really solid value for this. Okay, it's actually as good as I thought, and in some ways maybe even slightly better. It's, you know, again, it's a $5 multi-tool. This is not worth $23. If you see this and you really want this particular tool, try waiting for a sale, because I think at some point these are just going to sit on Walmart shelves and people aren't going to buy them, especially since they've added Civivi knives. And you know, you look at some of the Swisstech knives that they've added that are, you know, $30 to $50. Why the heck would you spend $30 to $50 on a Swisstech knife when you can buy one of the Civivis at the same store in the same case? I mean, you could buy the mini Praxis for, I think, $29. I think the Cubit is like 62 or 63. They have the Elementum for about 50, and I forget how much the Brazen is. But I would rather have any one of those knives than one of the Swisstech knives. And that was before me using it. After using this, like I said, this would be nice for like 10 bucks. Very nice for 10 bucks. Not more than that. Now, another thing you might be wondering is the blade steel. This is just stainless steel. Now, some Swisstech knives are made of VG10 and whatnot. I think they might be, yeah, and also D2. But don't forget, just because someone says their knife is made of stainless steel or D2 or VG10, there's a lot that goes into the composition of those steels. So, like, not all D2 is the same. Not all stainless steel is the same. One knife that I wish I had brought out is my Case rust lock knife. I've used that a fair amount. The blade's still sharp. This one, blade still sharp. This one, dulled pretty quickly. Now, it's again, it's stainless steel, but my point is that while this is just stainless steel, it's pretty obvious that the quality of the stainless steel they use, because that's a very generic term, and the quality of the stainless steel they use is not up there with the kind of stainless steel that Victorinox uses. It's not up there with what Buck uses. It's not up there with what Case uses. So for the uninitiated, you might see Case, Victorinox, and Buck and say, oh, those are stainless steel too, and this is stainless steel. Nope, it's totally different. Totally, absolutely different. Now, the good news is I put this on a strop, and in a minute or two, I got it nice and sharp again. And again, that probably goes to the fact that it's a softer steel. So, you know, while it is going to wear out fast, it doesn't take much at all to just strop it back. You don't even need to sharpen this thing. I guess it's a negative and a positive. It's going to wear down fast, but you're going to be able to bring it back pretty quickly. So like I said, if you're interested in one of these, wait for a sale, because eventually these are going to go on clearance. People are not going to pay $23 for this thing, especially when they can buy a Swiss Army knife, you know, a couple of pegs over in the case. I'd rather have a Swiss Army knife. Like I said, not a huge fan. I think they like to spend more time focusing on the boxing, because I got to tell you, like, the box is very nice, and you open it up and it presents quite well. I mean, if you're going to give it to someone for a gift, you know, it makes a nice little appearance. The little magnetic box and everything. But I got to tell you, I would rather have, if I had to pick, I would rather have this for $5 than this for $23. Now, if these were both $5, I'd actually rather go with this for $5. This is, to me, this is better than this if they were both $5. If they were both 10, excuse me, if this was 10 and this was 5, I'd still go for this. I think this is better than this. You know, it doesn't have pliers, but once you see that one is 23 and one's 5, I'll take this all day over this because it's $5. So, I hope that helps you out a little bit. And again, just to kind of reiterate, I'm a little leery about those Swisstech knives. Like I said, for the price point they want, nah, not really my thing. And for those of you who don't know, if you look, let's see if it says it on the box here. I don't think it does, but I went to the Swisstech website, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, but they aren't located in Switzerland. Surprise, surprise. They're actually located in, at least their corporate offices, are Bentonville, Arkansas. For those of you who don't know, there's also another company located there. It's called Walmart. So I did a little researching, and basically Walmart bought Swisstech, and they're cranking these things out, and they're selling them in the store. To be honest with you, so I mean, it's one of their brands, just like Ozark Trail is one of their brands. But to be honest with you, the value with an Ozark Trail is way higher than Swisstech. Like I said, you know, probably going to get people, you know, saying, well, you know, Swisstech makes better knives. They're better. Okay, they're better. They're better. But you know what? I don't think that a $40 Swisstech is going to be, and again, I haven't used the $40 like Swisstech folder, but I don't think a $40 or $50 Swisstech folder is 8 to 10 times better than this. This was $5. This is like the knife deal of the century for $5. Okay, if you're looking to give someone an inexpensive gift and you want to buy them a knife, they might want a knife, whether it's a stocking stuffer or a gift for work. That's the knife right there. That is the knife. Okay, so that's enough from me. Like I said, hopefully I remember to post that video in the description with my original unboxing. But if I forget, which is very possible, please just go checking it out on. I did it about maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago. All right, guys, have a good one, and I will talk to you later.